Slut shaming. Why do we do it, and how do we need to think about this problem? What do you do if the guy's friend, for some reason, just seems to hate you? And how do you turn a guy down for sex later in the relationship? Welcome to Ask Mark. This is the weekly segment where I answer your questions one-on-one. Every week you post great questions on here, and I'm very, very thankful that you do, because we can keep doing Ask Mark with some awesome content. So subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications, and let's get straight into this week's questions. And the first one is a really interesting one that I want you to hear. It's from JN. And JN writes, "Dear Mark, can you make a video about slut shaming? I accidentally slut shamed one of my best friends. She wrote me that she had partied and made out with two guys in the same night on the dance floor. Then one of them started making out with another girl and ignored my friend. So she tried to talk to him, but he ignored her. So she said, 'You are so evil,' and went out of the club in a rage. I told her, 'If you want more respect, perhaps you should date the guys before you kiss one, because I think it's not so smart to do what she did if she wants better treatment. It was wrong of the guy to ignore her, but I bet he was just pissed. She made out with another because her friend asked him if he was gay earlier, or because a friend asked him if he was gay earlier. But she accused me of slut shaming her, and that it was sad I did it. I told her I'm on her side, and of course not slut shamed, but in retrospect I can tell why she thought that. I should have been more careful with my words.' Yes, you probably should have, JN. And here's the reality. If you're tired of women being judged for their sexuality, not being able to enjoy themselves and have fun and getting judged for it the way men can, if that's a double standard that you hate, then you've got to kill slut shaming and stop doing it entirely. You see, the reality is that double standard that we all hate, that I think is so ridiculous, is propagated by slut shaming, and slut shaming is something that women tend to do more than men. If you're shaming another woman for the things she did for enjoying herself, you're propagating the same mindset that you hate, which is, why can men enjoy themselves and women can't? Never slut shame another woman for the action she takes. What you can do is give her feedback on the intent. So, hey, you went out and had sex with 4 guys. You know what? Good for you. You should be able to enjoy yourself. But wait, what was the intent? Were you looking to just enjoy yourself? Awesome, you go, girl. Be safe, know the risks. Were you just doing it to make your ex jealous? Probably not the best idea. Hey, you went out and made out with a couple of guys in the club. Awesome, you go, girl. Have freaking fun. Were you just doing it to make him jealous? Were you just doing it to show him how good you were? Was the intent coming from a weak place? Okay, probably not the best idea to make out with another dude in front of him. You can give another woman feedback on the intent behind her actions. Hey, were you doing this for the right reasons? Is this something the best you would do? And that's where you can make her think in retrospect, okay, maybe if I'm honest, that was coming from a weak place of ego, and I didn't really, I made out with him because I wanted to have an effect on the other guy that I liked. Okay, probably not the best idea. Hey, I slept with like 4 guys to fill the void that I'm missing since my ex left. Probably not the best idea. You never ever want to slut shame a woman for the action itself that she takes. If you just say, you're a slut because you slept with 4 guys, she's such a skank because she made out with all those dudes, you are contributing to the same double standard that you hate. What you can do is give feedback to your friends on intent, and then let them make that decision for themselves. But as long as you shame a woman for the things that she did rather than the intent behind it, you contribute to that double standard. Second question is from Angie, and Angie says, "Good video, Mark. I really liked your video. I want to ask you about respect." This was on the how to get his respect video. "What am I supposed to do when one of my boyfriend's friends dislikes me? I don't even know him, and he spits fire at me from the first time we were introduced." Okay, this is an annoying spot to be in, because you show up and you're like, what did I do wrong? What is this chip on this dude's shoulder? What's going on? Here's the thing. You can't take responsibility for his emotions. Now, what most people do in this situation is they become a dick to him back, and it becomes this big stupid thing where the guy is like, okay, my girlfriend hates my best friend, and they're both at each other's throats. What the hell? If this guy's being a genuine dick for no reason, then don't let it affect you. Just be normal. Don't let it bring you down. Be totally cool with it. And you know, your boyfriend might bring it up and he might be like, oh, like Mitch seems to really dislike you. And you'll be like, yeah, don't know why, like, guess it's his thing. You're totally unfazed. Now, let's say you hang out like at a social event with both of them and like his friend's being a dick to you and you're just being totally cool to him, totally nice. Who ends up looking like the tool? Your boyfriend's like, okay, my best friend's being a total dick to her and she's done absolutely nothing. He's gonna think that, okay, it's his problem, she's not doing anything wrong. And the guy's gonna side with you. Now, it's not about taking sides, but it's just about, okay, his friends are his issue, and if his friends have a problem with you that you're not causing, and you can honestly say you have nothing to do with it, then it's his friend's issue, and your boyfriend is gonna see that. So make sure you don't let it bring you down. Don't get into a weird ego war with his friends. If you literally don't let it affect you and you stay as your best self, most social, positive self, and don't give any of it back. Remember, your ego's going to want to give it back, but you don't give any of it back. You're just your awesome self. Your boyfriend is going to see who the problem person is. Okay, and we had a question from Gulab with the last one, and Gulab asks, hi Mark, I know you did a video on how to tell if a guy you won't have sex with him, and Jamia was in that video, did a wonderful job, description. But I wonder if you have any suggestions about how to turn a guy down for sex later in the relationship. Like when you're just not in the mood that night. Also, how to communicate that sex has been rushed and that you haven't been able to come without making him feel like he's bad at sex. Two fantastic questions here from Gulab. The first one's really interesting. How do you tell a guy you're not into it later in the relationship, you're just not in the mood? Actually, the best answer I've heard to this was from Matthew Hussey, and he talks a lot about how to validate your man and how to make him still feel like a man right throughout your relationship. Because a man needs to feel like a man. I've got an upcoming video talking about why men cheat, and one of the big reasons, not excuses, but reasons, is the unmet need of feeling masculine. And if you think of a man's core like a big pillar of masculinity, each time you reject him harshly, you chip away at it. You chip away, and if you keep chipping away by rejecting him harshly and showing that he doesn't do it for you, eventually those chips lead to cracks. And one day, depending on how solid the guy is, but no matter who he is, if you do it enough, those cracks will lead to collapse. You always want to make sure your man feels validated because you, as his exclusive girlfriend, are the only person who can sexually validate him and make him feel like a man. So you want to reject him in a way that makes him feel good. So you might say to him, babe, I would love to have you right now, but I've got this work to do. You know I want you. You know I'd jump you if I didn't have this to do. Let's set a date for later in the week and I promise you are going to be all fucking mine. You want to always reject him in a way that makes him still feel wanted. And to answer the second question, how to communicate that sex has been rushed and you haven't been able to come, I'm actually going to refer you to another one of my videos, how to tell him what you want in bed. There's an article as well, and I will put the link to both of those in the description below because that gives a comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to give a man sexual feedback that doesn't blow his ego out of the water. So make sure you watch those, make sure you hit those links in the description. Giving sexual feedback is hugely important, and keeping a man feeling masculine is essential to keeping him feeling great as your boyfriend within the relationship. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell so you get the notifications, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment with your question below. Leave your question below. Ask Mark every single week, and it could be your question that I answer next week. So make sure you leave it below. I pick the best ones, and I'm going to answer them one-on-one in a week's time. Make sure you subscribe, and I shall see you in the next Ask Mark really soon.